welcome to Columbia Gorge Locals. I'm your host, Joey Lick, as always. We are going to try a new segment that focuses on small businesses in the Gorge. And today we have one of our small business owners, and his name is Camron. Cameron, how's it going?
Good.
Good. Now, what is the name of your business?
It's Middle Mountain Recovery.
Middle Mountain Recovery.
Yep.
So you're going to do roadside assistance.
Roadside, yeah. So I do roadside and off-road recovery.
So you're the person that people don't want to see, but are glad that you're there?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you want to start this business?
Well, I started out driving tow truck in Hood River.
How long did you do that for?
3 years with the company I was with, and then I moved to Montana for 2 weeks, decided I didn't like it out there, and came back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I worked out in Portland for a company out there, two companies out there, actually, and then decided to move back.
What didn't you like about Montana?
The mountains. It was gorgeous out there. But I moved out there in the middle of winter, and my 91 F-150 I had did not want to start.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I remember one time I had a 01773 Ford F-250.
Right.
And my plug stopped working. And that whole week it was like 10 degrees or less.
Right.
And so I'd sit there with a heater under the truck, and I would for hours, and it just went, crank forever. And so finally, I forgot about this. So finally I bought the whole new engine block plug, and I was so cold. I was 7, 8 o'clock at night, probably 5, 6 degrees. I didn't have a garage.
Right.
And I'd crawl under there, and I'd get like a couple bolts, a couple of it pulled off. I'd be freezing my ass off. So I'd go back inside, and I did this for like 2 hours until I finally, because I never did one. I'm not super mechanically inclined.
Right.
And it was the actual plug that was messed up. The next day I went to work. My buddy Austin, he was a Toyota tech before he went to his job now. And I told him, dude, it sucked. I replaced the whole thing, but I got it done. It fired right up today. He's like, oh, that's cool. Why didn't you just replace the plug? I'm like, because I didn't think about that, and I wish I would have called you first. I was so mad. It never crossed my mind that I could just cut off the plug and put a new one. It would have been just fine.
Right.
So stupid.
The things that I've worked on cars my whole life. Well, I guess not my whole life, but the amount of times that I've done something and I'm like, crap, I could have done this this way, and it would have saved me hours.
Oh, yeah.
But
another time. Sorry, I just thought of another one. What you just said, at our old house, we had that rubber decking on our deck. It was a wood deck, like that rhino lining for the deck,
Right.
And I had spent like an hour scraping off one of these 2x4s because I was going to get it all off and sand it and stain it. And it was nasty, and it was chunking away, and I just chipped out. My fingers were hurting, and my wife got home. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, I got to take this off so we can stain it. She's like, why don't you just flip the boards over? I'm like, dude, because I didn't think about that. Okay. And then I was so mad I never did it again. I just bought new boards.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Oh.
So you said you did towing here and in Portland?
Yeah.
What's the big difference between the city and the gorge for tow truck driving?
Man, there's a lot more people. There's the amount of people that get hit in a big city versus a small town is crazy.
So we're just nonstop busy over there?
Nonstop.
Jeez.
It's here I ran 7 days a week, 24/7. There it was like 24/7 on the clock, So it was like I'd go work a 10-hour shift, get home, warm something up. Next thing you know, I'm getting called back out. Run until the next day, and it sucked.
I bet. Especially having to fight traffic and everything. That truck was probably miserable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that truck was terrible.
Gosh. What made you want to start your own business instead of working for somebody else?
I've always kind of dreamed about owning my own business, but the people that owned the tow company I worked for in Hood River, we're good friends with them now, but they've always kind of pushed me to, do better and do something for myself. And they're kind of like opened my eyes of the things I could do were, possible. And,
yeah.
So I was like, I could do this. And then my aunt was like, this is what you're good at. You should start your own business. And so I said, screw it. And went out on a limb and quit my job. I fought fires last year, and I was going to do it this year, but I was like, I'm going to start this
Yeah,
business.
double down. That's the hardest part of starting your own business is like, okay, when can I get this not guaranteed income and just go full throttle on this? And it takes a lot. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I
absolutely
mean,
scary.
I've definitely, I mean, the business is good. I've had, good income, but lately I've been having more money going out, replacing, because I got an 89 Jeep Wrangler with a 5.3 LS swap in it.
Oh, yeah?
And so everything for that motor is expensive.
Yep.
And so since I've owned it, I've done an axle bearing, I've done water pumps, all of it. And it's like, I got more money coming out than I do coming in. So
yeah, that part sucks.
Yeah.
Let's see. For the roadside and recovery, do you do lockouts?
Yeah, I do lockouts, jump starts, tire changes, fuel deliveries, and winch outs.
Perfect. I had those bullet pointed, and you said them in exact bullet points that they were listed in.
Yeah, I kind of have everything memorized.
What is the worst spots to break down around here in the gorge?
I-84.
I-84?
Oh, yeah.
You going east or west, or doesn't matter?
Both ways.
Really?
Yeah. Not necessarily eastbound, because the right side of the shoulder is usually not a really guardrail there, because there's more open, but like westbound, there's a guardrail the whole way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super tight, super tight.
You had some close calls out there?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were, it was a couple years ago, but for the tow company I worked for in Hood River Talk, we went out to Portland. Well, I didn't. The other employee did. And he hit a ramp, and like this car ramp fell off this dude's truck, and it took out like 20 vehicles.
Oh,
and
no.
One of our trucks was one of those vehicles. So the boss called me. He's like, 2:30 in the morning. He's like, hey, go out to Portland, take some tires out with you, swap them out. I was like, all right. So we get out there, and there's like 40 tow trucks out there picking cars up, that are damaged. And so I'm like, all right. So we get out there, and I'm usually, when I pull up behind a car, I try to angle a little bit. So that way, if something does hit, it's going to hit that truck before it hits us.
Yeah.
Well, this semi came blazing right by us, and we're like on the driver's side in the lane. And luckily, when I stood up, my buddy, or the other employee, which is a good friend of mine, and he ended up pulling me to the truck. And the semi went right past my back, grazed my shirt. And the next semi, man, he took out like 7 cones, drug them all down the freeway.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. You can get sucked under semis, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
The wind is amazing. That's underneath of it. So
good thing you weren't like 5'5", 120.
You're right. Would have blown me away.
Dang. That's wild. Do you ever have ones like rowing to curves or anything like that you got to deal with?
No, not really. If I get into a spot like where it's like there's not really a way to pull over, I'll block the whole road. I don't care. I'll make people go around me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not worth hurting yourself or the client or the people that are coming around the corner too fast.
Exactly.
Well, you can be mad for 10 minutes while you deal with it. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it's like on a blind corner and there's like a pull up a ways or a pull up off the side of the road, then I'll hook a strap up to them and I'll just pull them off to it. And then take care of them there. But
that makes sense. Winter versus summer, what's crazier for you? Probably winter, yeah.
Well, winter was kind of slow this year. I mean,
there's no snow.
Yeah, I had a couple winch outs this year, but summer, I mean, I'm preparing for it. But
yeah, probably a lot of overheated cars.
Yeah, and a lot of people run out of gas, or they, forget their keys in their car, or the battery's dead, and so like working for the tow company out here, summertime was our like busy time of the year.
Oh, interesting. I would have thought it was the opposite.
No.
Huh?
Well, it depends. Sometimes winter was worse. Sometimes because there's not a lot of people going out during the winter time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, true. You got a lot more cars on the road.
It was more of a off-road recovery type stuff that we did during the winter time. So
gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Can you think of your top, like, what the hell is going on call driving truck or doing your business?
I
Like when you show up, you're like, "What? How are we gonna fix this?" Or how did they crash like that?
Right. There was a wreck that well, it wasn't really a wreck. There was a kid, him and his girlfriend up in Hood River by the, what was that? The Hood River Co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you go up the Hood River Co-op Road, at the end of it turns into an orchard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this dude and his girlfriend, major potheads, they went up there and they thought it'd be a good idea to take their truck and drive up this little hill in the middle of winter. They ended up losing traction, sliding into this dude's orchard, brand new trees that they just planted. And they ended up taking like 4 of them out. And they're $10,000 a tree.
Oof.
You know? And so we got called up there and I was like, I'm not going to do this tonight. I'll do it tomorrow, daytime. And they're like, okay. So we went up there the next day and, man, the way that I had to rig this rig up to pull him out sideways, and then the owner of the orchard brought out an excavator and hooked it to my truck because I had to pull him sideways and then back down at the same time as I'm pulling him.
Oh, that's scary.
And so he helped kind of like anchor me so I didn't slide down there with him.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, how in the hell did you guys get in there? You know, and they're like, well, we just drove up here and the next thing you know, we started sliding backwards. I was like, what'd you do? They're like, put it in reverse. I'm like, that was dumb. You know, why'd you do that? And yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was a bad day.
So I was a cop before I got into real estate, and there was 2 that happened. I think they were within a week of each other. That exit right at Denny's in the Dalles. The first one, this older gentleman was in the handicap spot, and he went to go reverse. He was parked. He had his lunch, and he went to go reverse, and he floored it. And he ended up hitting this like massive rock that was right in front of it. And I don't know how he got so much momentum within like 6 feet, but his car got to the center of the rock. So it's just like teetering on the rock. And I got there and I'm like, dude, what happened? He goes, I went forward. I'm like, well, I know, but how? He's like, I don't know. I looked back and I hit the gas and then I went forward and I panicked and I think I just floored it. And I remember the driver showed up. He's like, I don't know what to do, man. I think I'm going to break the car when it comes off. And he did. He had a, I think he pulled from the front and got it back and just smashed the whole back end. There's not really anything else he could have done.
Right. Yeah, in those predicaments, unless you have like a rotator or something, you're not going to be able to get that car off damage free.
Yeah.
So.
God, that reminded me of my first call. I was 5 minutes into being a cop.
Right.
And like my training officers telling me what we're supposed to do, how we get checked in and ready. And then there was a crash, and it was Lone Pine, where all those new houses on the loop are down there.
Right.
It's like Blue Heron Court and Lone Pine Lane and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
None of those houses were there. And there's just a tree, and that tree's still there in the corner. Well, this guy had apparently, actually, when we showed up, there was a white, like 98 F-150. The front tires were almost in the river. There was a branch through his windshield. I mean, he had launched off that road because they just did the road.
Right.
And we get there, and he's flooring it. And my training officer was like, go tell him to stop. I'm like, okay. So I went and I knocked on the door and he goes, wah, wah. I was like, he's not stopping. I don't know what to do. And so finally they went to the other side. I think they had to break the window, got the truck turned off and pulled him out. And I mean, by that time, because he was flooring it on the rocks, it was just absolute like sparks shooting out the back.
Right.
Well, it turned out he had a diabetic episode. And so he was going 70 through that lane because he thought he was on the freeway in his mind. And so he said he was freaked out when I knocked on the window because he's just like, what's this guy doing? And I'm like, dude, if this is me a cop, this is wild. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah. I can't imagine what cops have to go through.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. Okay, so now you said you had an 89 Jeep.
Yeah.
And it's got a LS swap?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's been a good rig.
Nice.
But
yeah. Probably great for recovery stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a video of me doing it, and there was a gentleman that was parked up or got stuck up on Highway 44, and Hood River County Sheriff's Department actually called me to go get him.
Wow.
And so I went out there, and it's like 3:30 in the morning, and get up there, and I was like, it's not even worth me pulling a winch out. I'm just going to hook a strap up to him, and I hooked up strap up to him, and I let it let it eat, and
Yeah.
it just took off, and
Heck yeah.
it was. I mean, it's
That's cool. They called you. So who pays the bill for that? Was it the client or was it the county?
client pays
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm sure they had to get permission from him to, hey, you got to pay this if he shows up.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time, and they know that that they got to pay, and
Yeah.
if they're in that situation, they're stuck for a couple hours or a day. Like that guy was stuck up there for 24 hours, and
Jeez.
he's like, "I'm just glad you guys are here. I don't care how much I got to pay you."
Yeah, no kidding.
So I
You
was
get
like,
to that point where you're like, yeah, screw it.
yeah.
So does a Jeep break down more or less depending on the amount of ducks it has on the dash?
Less. Yeah. Breaks down less. The more ducks in the row you got, the better.
Do you make better or worse decisions if there's more on the dash?
That's a hard decision. I don't know.
Well, how many do you have?
None.
Okay, so
None.
sounds like better. You don't have any ducks in yours?
No ducks on mine. No, the first time I ever got ducked was when I worked for a tow company in Portland. And I was the overnight guy that night, and my Jeep was parked in the parking lot. And I was, laying down, and I heard kids walking by, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go look, because I got a Jeep out there, and I got stuff out there, my tow truck's out there. And I walk out, and I'm in literally just my underwear, and I walk out there, and I see this kid touching my Jeep. So I walk out there, I'm like, what the duck are you doing? He's like, sorry, dude, I'm just ducking your Jeep. I was like, how old are you? He's like, I'm 16. I was like, it's 2:30 in the morning, dude. What are you doing out here? And he's like, oh, we're just hanging out. I was like, all right, go home, do something.
Yeah, if I think of what I did at 16 at 2:30 in the morning, it wasn't being nice and giving people things. So I guess that's pretty cool.
Right. I felt bad after, because he gave me this like pink duck with a cowboy hat on it and a mustache.
That's cool.
And
I know it's a whole. I don't agree with it. I think it's weird, but I know it's a whole community of like all Jeep people doing it with each other. What I don't agree with is when I see a Jeep Compass with them. I don't think they deserve it. I don't think it's in the same category.
Nope. No, funny thing is I actually just saw a post on Facebook the other day there was a Ford Bronco that had ducks in the dash, and there was the owner or the guy that took video was in a Jeep Wrangler, and he's like, look at this moron trying to be like us.
Yeah.
They want to be like us so bad.
Yeah, they got to pick something else, like a horse, like a plastic horse or something.
Yeah, or slap some cowboy stickers on your vehicle or something.
Yeah, do something else.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple more, then I'll get you out of here. What do people not realize about running this kind of business?
The toll that it takes on your body from being, toll on your body and being away from your family, and like I'm 7 days a week, 24/7, and there's days that I'll go 2-3 days without a call. But when it's busy, you're 24/7, and it's go. You're hot, you're sweating, you're dirty, you're meeting people that are frustrated and pissed off, and and I carry like snacks and drinks and stuff in my rig for customers, but it takes a toll, on you. And
yeah, you're not showing up because they're having a good time.
Exactly. But I mean, if you show up and you gotta, it's all about appearance. So if you show up and you're in a great mood and you say, hey, here's some water, here's a snack if you want this, blah blah, then they turn out to be pretty cool.
That's cool. I've never heard anybody doing that. That's really cool. What should every driver keep in their car?
A gas can, some flares, if not flares, some reflective stuff you can put out, some triangles.
They even have those like foldable ones, so it's not like it's a room thing.
Exactly.
Actually, I have some of those, the light up flares where it comes in like a 6-pack of the squares.
Right.
And then you can kick them on whenever you need to.
Yeah. Summertime, I'd say like water, snacks, stuff that you can survive with, until you get help. Jump packs, stuff like that. But wintertime, definitely like blankets, stuff to be able to keep you warm, and the amount of people that I've ran into, and I don't know why, but it amazes me every time that like I get a call to go do a tire change for a dude that owns a truck or something, and I show up and he's like, hey man, I got all the stuff out for you. I'm like, well, you got the tire off. well, yeah, I just didn't want to put it back on, so I called you. I'm like, come on, guys. You know,
Really?
like, it's cool, you know, you're giving us the business, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like,
That's
the amount of guys that I've showed up to
crazy.
take care of, but
Pay a few $100 just because they didn't feel like finishing it.
exactly, where they show up
Wild.
and they're like, I don't know how to do this. And I'm like, all right, well, let me teach it, you know?
And that part I can understand, but taking it halfway off and then calling you is wild.
Right.
But I do know there's people who, you know, their parents were never mechanically inclined. They called somebody who had them do everything.
Right.
It's still a skill that absolutely everybody should learn. They should know by the time they're 17.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's something that everybody should know how to do, whether you're a man or a female, you know,
Yeah.
learn how to do it, you know. And it sucks and you get dirty and, you know, it sucks being on your knees and stuff doing it, but it's a good life skill to know.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
But
My wife and I were going to Portland one day, and I think it was a Sunday. It's about 4:30, and I got a flat just past Cascade Locks.
mm-hmm.
And immediately I'm like, start calling tire shops in Gresham because we're going to be screwed.
Right.
She's like, why? What happened? I'm like, tire's flat. We got to get it done. We call right now and see if somebody will stay open. And I'd NASCAR'd that shit. I had it on and off in like 15 minutes. I'm like, we're not getting stuck in Cascade Locks or Gresham. We're getting a tire. We're going home.
Right.
And there was this, we went to one of them. They said they were going to stay open for us. They didn't. I forget who that was. But then it was this little small business in Gresham, and I can't remember the name, but I'll put the link in the picture of them in the video. They were closed. The guy was leaving, and I'm like, dude, I hate doing this, but you know, I had this flat, and I was just seeing if you guys can fix it. And he's like, oh yeah, no problem.
Right.
And he ripped the tire off. He was like, oh, it's only $5 to put the plug in. I'm like, absolutely not. I can't remember how much we gave him. We gave him all the cash we had. It was like $100, but because
Right.
that was the value to me. If we were going to get stuck there, I couldn't ride in the spare all the way back.
Right.
It was really, really cool. And all the other businesses were like, yeah, sorry, we'll be closed by then. I'm like, it's going to be 5:05. They're like, yep, no, we're closed. Not going to happen.
Right.
So I was really thankful for those guys.
Man, places like that, just, you know, even though you got set times, like, if somebody calls you and it's 5 minutes past, like, just do it, you know?
It took him 5 minutes to put it in.
Exactly.
He did not care. He was really cool.
Yeah.
So what places do you cover? What areas do you cover?
So I cover from Cascade Locks all the way up to Government Camp, Maupin, all the way to Rufus.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
And so if somebody's stuck out in the woods, they're stuck on the freeway, they're stuck anywhere in a car, you can help them.
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
ATVs or anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a tow truck right now, but I mean, if it's an ATV or something like that, I can always stop at U-Haul, grab a trailer, and come pick it up. You know,
Very cool.
So,
What's your hope for this business? What do you want it to look like in, let's say, 5 years?
man, I mean, within 5 years, I hope that I have at least, you know, 4 or 5 trucks, some employees. I want to have a nice big shop to be able to do some mechanical work. Alex and Danielle, good friend of mine, Alex owns Hoodview Auto Glass, and I want to be able to, you know, hey, you need a spot to do your windows, you know, here you go,
Yeah.
or whatever.
That's awesome.
Or you guys need mechanical work, come use the shop, you know, or whatever. But eventually I'd like to be big enough where I have multiple trucks, some employees, and yeah, you know,
That's awesome.
helping the community
Yeah,
every way I
that's
can.
huge.
So
So how can people get a hold of you?
Facebook, I have a Facebook page, Middle Mountain Recovery. You can call me on Google. You can find me on Apple Maps and Google Maps. If you type in jump starts or tire changes in the dials, I pop up as number 2. So
Oh, very cool.
yeah,
And for the sake of, if you get stuck with no reception, find the number and find the information and download it now, because there's obviously going to be places where you don't have cell service. That's where you're going to need recovery the most. So do you mind sharing the number?
yeah. It's 503-314-2318.
Perfect. So
And you can text me at that number too. So
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So save that, because if you don't have cell service, you're not going to be able to get a hold of anyone, let alone the person that you need the most.
yeah, I mean, if you have Apple or an iPhone, they have this new thing where you can like satellite text. So if you run into a situation you don't have service, satellite text me your coordinates, what's going on, and I'll be up there. So
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't realize it worked for text message. I thought it was just phone calls.
nope, text messages too.
Sweet.
So, yep.
All right, man. Anything else you can think of?
No, not
Cool.
that I can think
Well, thanks for coming. I hope it goes really well. It sounds like it's needed around
yeah.
here. I don't know of any other that'll go like off road recovery.
Right. Yeah. There's not. I mean, there's one in Parkdale, but I mean, the dude's like 90 years old. He's been doing it for a long time, and he's not ready to retire, but he's not going to go out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you guys ever need any recovery, this is your guy. Thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it.